So yeah, this is not a typical video I posted on this channel. However, on Twitch, I did a full Logic Session breakdown of This Is How I Got Over You, and I would have normally cut it down into like a 20 to 40 minute video, but I found that there was just so much in the stream that I couldn't pick and choose what was important to keep and what was relevant because I thought it all was. So, please enjoy this very detailed and quite long breakdown of the new EP, This Is How I Got Over You, which is out everywhere. Please enjoy. What we're going to do today is we're going to break down each song. So we're going to dive into like some behind the scenes, some stories, some like production stuff, some all of the juicy details of like each of the songs. We're going to talk about it. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you want while we're in the process of doing this. This is a collaborative stream, so just like hang out, have a good time. And we're going to do it in order of the EP. So we're going to do like Come Tell Me Again, How Is That Fair, I Don't Know, and then Strangers. So we're going to do it in that order because I think that's the best way to sort of like follow through with it, so everyone kind of is on the same page. Does that sound good? Does that sound good, everyone? I think it sounds fucking so good. So all that being said, is everyone ready? 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 Can I get some fucking pogs in the chat? Put a pog in the chat. Just for fun. Just for fun. Just for fun. Just put it in there. I'm ready. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the track together and then we'll break it down. Sound good? So I'm going to play Come Tell Me Again. And then we'll break down the track. Now, I'm going to play Come Tell Me Again off of my Logic session, just so you can be like, oh, this is the whole session. But Come Tell Me Again is a song that has a lot to it, behind the scenes wise. So it'll be fun to like go through that to like, yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot that is behind the scenes of Come Tell Me Again. So I'm just loading up the Logic session right now. I had another Logic session open that you'll see later, but it's very exciting. Okay, so transition. This is Logic session for Come Tell Me Again. Everyone see it? Can everyone see it? I'm gonna make my little guy right here a little bit smaller. Cool. All right. So this is Come Tell Me Again. You should be able to hear it. If you can't, actually, let's test it out. You should be able to hear this. Can everyone hear this? Can everyone hear that? You should be able to hear that. And hearable. Hell yeah, I love this. All right, this is Come Tell Me Again. Please enjoy, and we'll do a breakdown afterwards. Here we go.
Can I walk across dimensions? Stroll around to distant lands? Find the cable of connection? Pretend I'll end up in your hands? Do you breathe another substance? Can we hold each other plain? Can we clear it of obstruction left behind from other ways you tried to call me by my name? I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again? Can I ask another question before the tide comes rolling in? Is it the message you are sending? regretting asking how I've been. Is your suitcase closed and ready? Does your image look the same? When you look at your reflection, is it still the person that always looks back at you the same? I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again? When it finally came to closing the book of choices there and then, I wrote your name down in pencil, but you scratched it out with pen. I could easily forget you and walk around the world the same, but I thought we had that special kind of something, but I guess that you just didn't think the same. I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been, no. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again?
Yeah, baby. Fucking slaps. I'm so cool. Okay, let's jump into this right away because there's some things that I would like to share first about the song before I get into the behind the scenes. I want to say a massive thank you to Mitch Wheeler. You can find him linked on Instagram in the post about my announcement of the EP. He played the guitar. So all of these guitars in orange here, from the guitar solo that's like down here to the a lot of these layers were played by Mitch Wheeler, who's a just absolutely scrumptiously tasty guitar player. Of course it was Mitch, right, Nate? Nathan, fucking telling you. Of course it was Mitch. Classic. Yeah. So Mitch has this like texture and tang and taste and flavor that I really, really love. So big thank you to Mitch. He'll show up later in Strangers, but this was like his. I really needed him on this track. So, let's go from the very beginning. So, what this song started with was this acoustic guitar that I kept playing over and over and over and over and over again. This groove is just so delicious. That groove is just so tasty to me because there's just such a good. The pan makes my brain feel good. Break it down. It feels so good. So those guitars are so inherently groovy that I kept playing it. Like before I even had lyrics, that groove just made me want to like shimmy and dance and like, shake my bum. But one of the things about me is that I love like I love drums that feel real, and drums that are super like layered and textured. And one of the things that I wanted to try to do while I was producing the song. The reason I transitioned is because I have to open up the reason I transition screens is because I have to open up a different session. So give me a second for this, because this is part of the backstory of This Is How I Got Over You. So I had that guitar groove and I was like, listen, everyone. What I want to do is, and one of the things that I really, which is a blessing and a curse, I guess, when it comes to music making, is that I pull from a bunch of different inspirations. And one of the things that I really wanted to do is mix folk with John Bellion style drums. So if you're familiar with John Bellion, he has this really unquantized, super head bobby, swingy kind of groove. It really is such an amazing feeling. And I wanted to be like, oh, I'll take these drums, but I wanted to implement a more like acoustic kind of like live feeling in songs. That's kind of what I really wanted to go towards as like a musician. I wanted to combine really dope sounding drums with live instruments, and I don't know how successful I am at that, but I want to find like a juxtaposition between the electronic and the real. And I love, because I think that every human being loves the sound of real instruments, even if they're processed in a way that makes them sound unreal. Now, so one of the things that I did with that groove, welcome to a different session. One of the things that I did with that groove was I wanted to build drums around that groove. I wanted to find that juxtaposition between a fucking really cool, shaky kind of, funky groove onto the acoustic guitar, as well as I wanted the drums to emulate that kind of feel. Now, Rap God MD in the chat right now, I reached out to him and I was like, if I have like a song that I want you to rap on, would you be down? And he said yes. This was going to be that song. I was going to have my buddy Nathan, Rap God MD, look him up. I was going to have him rap on this song in the third verse before I was like finished writing it. I was like, these drums sound really sick, but I wanted like it would be fun to do like a collaboration kind of thing. But these drums, I couldn't get the acoustic guitar or anything to sound right with these drums that I'm going to play in a second. Because fun fact, I wrote the groove with my electric guitar when it wasn't plugged in. So it sounded just like this. Like you can barely fucking hear it. Let me see if you can like, sounds like super thin. And super thin. I don't know if you could hear that at all, but it's super like, it's all attack, no release. It's super like a thin sounding, delicate sounding guitar tone because it's not plugged in. There's no behind the scenes about it. There's no like processing behind it. And so when I wrote that in my head, I was like, oh, I'll probably get like a clean guitar that's like kind of funk inspired a little bit, and then layer it with the acoustic guitar so I get that acoustic element on these drums that I'm going to play. And I hope these drums have loaded, and I hope these are like I hope these sound the way that I remember them sounding, because these might sound like shit. So this was my drum loop that I had behind the groove. So I think yeah, okay, cool. And then, okay, so let's mute these two. What are you? Okay, cool. What are you? Cool. What are you? Yep, cool. And then symbols are spelled wrong. Cool. Okay. So I started out with electronic sounding drums, and I wanted to implement acoustic sounds because I want that like electronic acoustic juxtaposition, like combination kind of idea. So this is what I had first. What the fuck? What was that? Where's that coming from? Sorry, hold on. That sound's not supposed to be there. That sound's not supposed to be there. Okay, so that's drum kit number 1. This is drum kit number 2.
What's going on here, gang? Okay, where's that sound coming from? Oh, this is it. Sorry. Here it is. Sorry, this is the drum loop. Forgive me. Which like has that like it has such a bounce to it that I really like. And when I was playing the electric guitar of it, I don't know if this is. Yeah, so I kept like trying to figure out what I wanted the guitar tone to sound like. I think this is also some electric guitars. So yeah, this is draft number 1. Like, so these are all demo stuff, and I was like trying to figure out these drums. You know, I added some like other layers to make it sound more like realistic almost. I added this analog pad sound. Sorry, hold on. I don't know why that's pitched up 12 semitones, but I added this. Yeah, so Mitch, sorry, not Mitch, Nathan, Rap God MD. If these drums turned into the song, you would have been on this song. It would have been like Ian Azio, Rap God MD combo, would have been fucking sick. But these drums, like, I couldn't get them to fit right. They were not like they weren't feeling the way that I wanted them to feel. And it was just like it's just so dope, and I love making drum grooves like this that are like kind of combo real. Like we have this real kit, like that kit sounds really real and dead, and I love it. But then you also get this combo of like this combo of really electronic sounding drums, and that was like where I was like, I'm gonna go here first. I'm gonna figure out these drums. I'm gonna figure out this groove in the way that I'm playing it. So I play it on the drum pad. I play it on the keyboard. I play it like live, and I, you know, slide them and nudge them and program them so they sound like full. And like, if you're familiar with John Bellion, this is super John Bellion inspired. But what I wanted to do was incorporate live instruments into the song, so you have this juxtaposition of live instruments and electronic instruments and this overlaying stuff, because I think that's dope. Now, let's go to the other session, because that's where it ended up. Because I was like, okay, this isn't working. I couldn't combine the sound of... You did good, kid. Thanks, man. I couldn't combine the sound of those drums with the guitar that I had, because it didn't sound right. I think it was because the drums left such a space for a sustained kind of instrument, like piano or something like that had more like texture to it, or like open, more plucky chords. But maybe I'll return to that drum groove again, but we'll see. We'll see. I have it. And Nathan, I'll be thinking of you if I ever like work on something in that sort of vein again, because I know that I want to get you on a track at some point. So watch out for that. Everyone should go listen to Time Waster by Rap God MD, or his new single, which name is escaping me. What's it called? Nate, what's it called? Nathan. Rap God MD, what's your new track called? Exquisite. That's what it is. I'm a fan of Time Waster because I think that sample of the strings is really dope. But Exquisite is also very gas. So anyway, transition back over here. I had that guitar groove and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna record it on acoustic guitar, raw oyster. She's a raw oyster. She won all my money. She's a bag. Anyway. So I had the guitar groove and I'm like, I might as well record it into a new session. I might as well like copy the session over with all the drums. And then I think these drums, yeah, there's a lot of testing that went into this session, just to let everyone know. So I kept the groove on the acoustic instruments. I kept the groove in a space that made more sense. I was like, if we're gonna do this song in the way that this groove is asking, because sometimes you have to listen to the music first as opposed to listening to what you want the music to be. These guitars were not asking to be in a John Bellion inspired track. They were asking to be in a more live room, like live performance kind of feel. They were asking to be as if you're playing in a bar to like 40 or 100 people and you're just grooving out and having a good time. That was kind of the intention behind the song. And as soon as I figured that out, I was like, let's do it. So we record the acoustic guitars and there's some like spacing on them. There's some light compression. A lot of my songs start on either acoustic guitar or drums. That's kind of where I gravitate towards, acoustic electric guitar or drums, and like from a groove. And grooves are so important in music. So acoustic guitar. And what's fun is that like I kept in the very beginning of my takes. You can hear me like shuffle around and like get ready. Let's go. And I'm like yelling and stuff. I think there's laughing in one of these tracks as well. Is it? No, that's muted. It's oh, it's up here. I laugh up here. See what I mean? So I'm keeping in elements into the song that makes it feel as if it's in a room and makes it feel as if it's in a situation that is like live music. That makes it feel as if you're listening to a live recording of a performance, even though, you know, I comp tracks and I decide what take is good and I bass comp and I tune and I do all of these things. But I still want that element, hence why there's this cymatics life sound belt line kind of feel in here. Do I have any idea what they're being said? No, but what it does is like, I like to think of it as like air. It puts air into the song. As opposed to it being like tonally in your face, it makes it feel as if it's like within a physical space. That's why this is there at the beginning and the very end. But it didn't really make sense to put it out through the entire song, but that's where it is. You have this acoustic guitar, which is where the song started from. Which, fun fact for you music nerds at home, this is just like a 2-5-1. This is just 2-5-1 in G major, with a cheeky walk down to the very end of verse 1. Right here. And the thing with these guitar takes is I kept them really sloppy. And that adds to that element of like being in a live studio and listening to someone play this live. You want a little bit more guitar squeak. You want a little bit more, mistakes and like mistimings and stuff like that. It adds to the feel of it being in an actual room. So you have these guitars. And then I really like the Bluebird kit that comes with Logic, like the default kit. I think if I remember correctly, I replaced the snare. Yeah. Listen to that snare. It's like so punchy. It's so right in your face. I think that Logic has done a really good job of realistic live sort of room, like studio drum kits. I think they have a lot of really good options, especially if you go into the Producer Plus type of instrument. instrument track. I really debate with myself a lot about using drums in this way, using Logic's built-in drum sounds, because I have complicated feelings towards it, but at the end of the day, it's still drums, right? It's still, the intention behind the drums is to make groove. It doesn't matter, like, some albums all have the same drum kit on it, right? So in my head, if these drums sound good, then use them. Even if, like, and that comes with, like, being in a bedroom studio. Like, I don't have a drum kit at my disposal as easily as, like, being in a real studio. And that's not necessary sometimes, because these drums are just as good. Like, if I can program drums based off of what Logic gives me and edit it into MIDI and then change it to sound as if it's a real drummer, I feel like that's just as good as miking up a drum kit. And you shouldn't feel bad for using plugins that come with your program. You shouldn't be like, damn, I guess Logic comes with Logic comes with bass amps, and because I want to be a real producer, I'm going to use a $40 plugin. Like, no, you can use what's at your disposal. You have to, as a producer, you have to be creative with what you have and know where to go with what you don't have. Like, I know that I don't have that technical juice and that emotional gusto and that je ne sais quoi that Mitch has when he plays the guitar. Mitch is such like a tasty guitar player that I was like, damn, I need you on this track. So I text him and I'm like, yo, give me your mega juiciness, give me your sauce, man. Like, give me your recipe, because I have this track that begs for your tone. So that's like what being a producer also is. It's also knowing like when to contact someone else. It's knowing when to like say, hey, I want Rap God MD on a third verse, or knowing when to say, it's like these drums that come with Logic sound just as dope as if I was going to record a real kit. So why the fuck am I going to go record a real kit if I don't have the ability to go to record a real kit? Like, I know what to mic a drum kit. I know what sounds good when it comes to a drum kit, but I don't have access to one. I got a dresser that's empty behind me. You know what I mean? So I think it's really important to be able to use what you have at your disposal and sound good. Like, I'm not like, that's sort of where like my opinion about loops come in as well. I think that loops are good if used correctly. Disappeared to get food and returned to see Raw Oyster. Raw Oyster is my parody of Time Waster by Rap God MD. So, fun facts. Nathan is a legend, and I love that man. So, when it comes to drums, if you have a sound that you really like one of the things that I love about Logic's drum kits is that I can go in and say, I fucking hate this snare. I want it to be super punchy and in your face. And I can go, dope, it's now punching in my face, and adjust that and dive into the MIDI here and like figure out that I want this feel to sound different, and think about making music as if it's a real as if I was actually playing it, but within MIDI. And I can also do that with headphones on at 2 a.m. and not have to worry about waking up the neighbors. So you get these drums, and what's great about these drums is that for each verse and each chorus and stuff, I don't think the chorus changes as drastically as the verses, but the drums are not the same throughout the entire song, which is important to make the song sound as if it's in an adventure, sound as if it continues, as if it develops. So you're not in the same place. Shout out to Mitch again for like his tasty guitars, and the way that he plays them changes as well. So there's that. So drums. And pretty much what's going through this drum kit is there's a compressor on the kick, and I EQ'd it out to get more attack on it. The snare is not much to it. I got rid of the room and I sent it all to a saturation, distortion, and compressor, which sounds like this. It's very fun. Listen to this. So that just gets more attack on that kick and a little bit more like grit to it. Nothing crazy. And then I also sent it to a reverb, a punchy room as you do. And that's what this sounds like right here. Which is almost like putting it into that sound, that reverb. The goal of that reverb is to make it sound as if it's in a bar, as if it's in a live performance space, like as if it's in like one of those intimate but not crazy big like live sound stages or like venues and stuff. So combined with all of that, you get this drum kit sound. So that's the whole kit. You can even hear it a little bit. Come tell me again, but it's playing in the next room. Exactly. That's kind of like what that reverb is. So you get that, and the acoustic guitar also has a little bit of a different reverb on it as well. So you get that like extra element to it. So it just pretty much spaces out the instrument so it sounds as if there's some reflections and some different reverberations, hence the fucking plugin, reverberations that take place in the space that you're in. Come tell me again, but it's Ian on stage in your local bar. Hey, iainthemusic.contact@gmail.com. I'll come play at your local venue. Okay, so I posted on Instagram recently about getting that bass tone, and literally what I described though, exactly, Cryptid, for real. So it's about like that it kind of became the song that was like, we're in a venue, we're in a live space. That's the point, 100%. So and one of the things about bass frequencies is that they don't really respond to reverb as well. I didn't even put any reverb on here, which was intentional because the bass is so fucking groovy. I don't want to muddy it up with any extra frequencies. And I played this bass, and I'm so proud of this bass playing. Truly, hire me as your session bassist, because this shit fucks. Like, listen to this. Sorry, not that part. That's the intro. We get it, Ian. Good job. The chorus here is just so groovy. Right here, and also the on almost every track is this RX10 repair assistant. This is something that saves me a lot of the time when it comes to recording in my bedroom. It's on my vocals. It's on the acoustic guitar. You'll see right there. It's on it's on the main vocal. It's all of these things. But what it does is it makes it removes a lot of that like unnecessary background noise, and I barely use it because most of the time I get a really good take when there's not a lot of extra sound. But it adds a little bit of DS, reverb, declick, stuff like that. So it's just a little bit of like a denoise kind of plugin, and it removes that 60 cycle hum that is like incredibly fucking easy to hear when it's going through an audio interface. It's very, very prevalent in a lot of instruments. So with that plugin, and it is a paid plugin, I did pay for it. That was my gift to myself after graduating. But it removes a lot of 60 cycle hum, which is hell to deal with. So this is the bass. Listen to this. It just adds, one of the things that is very important about the bass is that you got to think sometimes that the bass is a counter melody to what the guitars are doing. So it's like it's if the guitars are being really spiky, is like what I'm calling the acoustic guitars in this song. If they're being really spiky, you want the bass to be a bit smooth and like have a bit more melodic information. What's really great is the conversation between the two instruments. And that's why I kept that moment, that musical moment at the very end of the song, where it's just post solo guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and that's it. It's that such a groove to me that I was like, I need people to just listen to it. I'm not going to put it in the middle of the song, but I need people to just hear how these instruments are playing off of each other. And it's just, it adds that like feeling. That's 100% what the bass and guitar are doing for sure. And especially the bass with the drums too. It's like just this extra. I respect you talking about how you made these songs, but I don't speak genius. Watchable stream. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so Kiddo is fucking hilarious. So let's talk about what I did to Mitch's acoustic guitar, Mitch's electric guitars, because he played a lot of electric guitars for me. And there's a little bit of processing that I've done. I've done a couple of like volume stuff, and one of the things that I really want to go into here a little bit is the chorus. So this is the chorus.
I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been.
So we're gonna talk about one of the plugins that is like an unsung hero within the song is Crystallizer. We love that shit. So Mitch sends me these guitars, which I boosted a little bit in the sort of like, 2000, 3000 range, just because I wanted them to be a little bit more there. So it just adds this like really atmospheric kind of vibe. And I was like, but something else is missing. It needs even that extra shimmer. So what do? We go to Crystallizer. We go to our boy Crystallizer. And we really space it out. We really space it out. This Crystallizer is called Smooth Crystals, and we love that stuff. And when you layer them together, you get this like really atmospheric, like ethereal, almost like synthesizer kind of feeling that I love, that his guitar tone really like exemplifies. The shimmer! That's exactly it. Yeah, so it's just like extra shimmery stuff. And you can hear it at the very end of the song, too. Yeah, so you can hear it at the very end of the song, too, that extra shimmer. So if you're listening to it, it's there. It's very, like, prevalent. That's kind of, there's a lot of like production that's behind this track, but for instrument wise, there's not much going on. This song is as if there is only 4 dudes. As if there's only like 4 or 5 people playing on a stage. Like there was a part of my brain that was like, you should add saxophone to the song because that'd be fun. There's a part of my brain that's like, you should add horns, you should find someone who can play trumpet, you should pick some of these guys up and like combine them together because you know some of these people who can like do these things. And I was like, no, this song is not asking for that. This song, what also is a prevalent in this song is that it's very busy. This song has a lot going on. So when you try to add more to it, then you get things that get not as clear, or the vocals don't stand out, or you get lost in the spaciness of the guitars. So you have to be really careful like where this goes. And for the longest time, I wasn't sure where this song was going. I had bass drums and acoustic guitar, and I was like, I don't know what this song is asking me to do yet. And so I sent it to Mitch, and I was like, Mitch, I know the song is like begging for something. I think that you'd be able to deliver it better than I can in my guitar playing ability. So he sent me back some stuff that just made me freak out, and I was amazed. And I loved it so much. Now, as for the vocal, here's something fun. You'll see that originally, these are the these regions up here, right here. These are the original vocal takes that I did before I comped and tuned them. And you'll see that there's 2 layers. Now you might be wondering, Ian, why? The artist's dilemma in any medium is quite literally just having creative freedom. Exactly. Sometimes restrictions create innovation. I love layers. Fucking love layers. Me too. Like onions. So these 2 here, these 2 audio tracks up the top here are 2 different microphones. Because layers are like donkeys. You want to elaborate? Care to elaborate? So something that is instrument choice, onions are like ogres. I'm following. Dragons are like Puss in Boots. Yeah, I'm following. Based and real. I get you. So one of the things that I think is really important as well is and there's only so much that I can be able to do like in my own little studio space, is picking instruments that make sense. And as well as picking instruments, it's also as important to pick microphones that suit what you're going to be doing. You'll see in my YouTube videos that I stand holding a SM57. SM57? Yeah. An SM57, because I like the way that my talking voice sounds on that microphone. But I like the way that my singing voice sounds on an NT1A. That's just personal preference. And you have to figure out like what makes sense for you microphone wise. I see a lot of people getting the Shure SM7B, that like podcasting microphone that you need a cloud lifter for, and a whole bunch of other, like the Shure SM7B, you will 100% know it if you Google it. Called out. Now, I'm not throwing shade at people who own that microphone. All I'm saying is that microphone makes my voice sound really tired because it amplifies frequencies in my voice that I don't really like. And it makes my voice harder to process and harder to get the things out in my voice that I want. Owning that microphone is not a bad thing. I think that people are very... I'm not throwing shade, continue to show shade the Ian way. I think that the microphone is really good for what it's used for the people who use it in the way that makes sense for them. Like, if you have the Shure SM7B and it suits your voice, that's a great choice. Fuck yeah, good job. But if you have the microphone and you're like, I don't actually like the way that this microphone sounds, then that microphone's not right for you. That's like saying, oh, my shoes are too tight, but I got the new Yeezys or the new Nike Jordans, but I got the size down because they look cooler. It's like, no, you got to find something that fits you better. You know what I'm saying? Remind me later. I need a new mic eventually, and I want to ask you for your opinions. I love talking about microphones. So what I did was I did a mic shootout between the NT1A and the 57. The 57 is like it's a microphone that's dope for like, it's just an all around great microphone. I mean, Obama used it for one of his speeches. So like, you know what I mean? The mic shootout. Yeah. Pistols at dawn with mics. That's exactly what it is. So what I did was I set up 2 microphones and made sure that the capsules are lined up so they're not out of phase, which is a later conversation. And then I sang both takes. I recorded both microphones of one take. So I had like, I don't know how many takes I did of the song. How many takes did I do of the song? I did 3. Look at me go. I knew the song really well. Because I also wanted to keep the takes low because I knew that in some of the mistakes that I may or may not have made would be interesting within the context of the song as if it's a live audience. Like, your mic is about to make a 50 Cent album.
What? Your mic is about to make a 50 Cent style album. Many mics wished death on me. Based. What was I saying? Yeah, so I did 3 takes because I knew the song really well and I knew what I wanted my tone to sound like. And I did the microphone shootout to get the best microphone sound for my voice before processing anything. And that's really important. Now, what I decided was, fuck, if I play them both at the same time, they sound really good together anyway. So that's why mic combo is labeled as such. Because it's actually just both microphones at the same time. So it's just like the same microphone.
I know you're somewhere.
It's dope. I think I did a really good job. Background vocals are pretty straightforward. They're just amplifying the chorus a little bit. I think these guys are... Oh, yeah. Ready?
I know you're somewhere.
Isn't that fun?
I don't ask how you have been.
They're super robot and super like crunchy and distorted and stuff. But when you listen to them all together, they fit right in because it adds like a realistic element as if there's like those extra people. So
I know you're somewhere.
boom.
I don't ask how you have been. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again?
I love harmony. I love harmony so much. And this is my way of recreating that. Hey, yo, why Blurry Face freelancing on your EP? Fucking play it again. Boom. Ready? Blurry Face, Cryptid, we'll talk about this later.
I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again?
Yeah, so combined with the lead vocal, it sounds like this.
Lame.
Lame.
I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been, no. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again?
Feels like 30 Ian's choir. I hate how good that is. Dude! Okay, that sounds awesome. Thanks, guys. Hell yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it, y'all. So that's like... I'm so mad I'm not on this. Hey, listen. If you... Hey, maybe we could do another release and have you on a verse. Remix? Hey, we'll talk, okay? DM me. Genuinely though, like actually reach out because I would love to. We'll figure it out because it'd be kind of gas to get you on something. It'd be so dope. So that's the Ian Azio Rap God MD collab. Fucking maybe. It'd be nice. So that's harmony, and I love harmony. I love like all of these things. Now, does before I go into like lyrics, does anyone have any questions so far about anything that we've talked about? Must be nice. It must be nice. Shh on the DL cryptid. Does anyone have any questions about what we're talking about so far? Because I can jump into the lyrics for a little bit in this song. Do I have them up somewhere? I don't. Whatever. Address the goat allegations. Bah. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and also in the in verse 3, I dropped the acoustic guitar and then I also lo-fi it, so it sounds like just lo-fi guitar through a telephone and stuff. Which is like it's just fun. It's just very, very fun. So let's talk about the lyrics of this song. I don't know if this is would you be interested in lyric song? Do you actually, how about this? would you be interested in me doing a breakdown of like lyrics and like themes in this song? Is that something you'd be interested in hearing, or do you want to just like leave it up to your imagination? Lyrics, yes. I got a yes for lyrics. Words about words. Hey, we can do that for sure. I love lyrics. Spill the tea. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So, where to begin? I'm interested. Yeah. So the idea behind this song is twofold. The chorus is, let's start at the chorus. I know you're somewhere. I don't ask how you have been. I know you don't care, but could you come tell me again? The intention behind that is a bit ambiguous, and that's kind of clear. That's kind of the reason that the intention behind that is a bit ambiguous, because I wanted it to sort of have two meanings. And the two meanings are the sort of needy, craving the attention, like, come back to me, I miss you idea. And then there's also the element that I think is really prevalent in the way that I sang it, or at least I tried to express it in the way that I sang it, is the idea of like, you want to see me again. That idea of like, oh, I'm sure you really don't care, but I know that you want to come tell me that you don't care one more time. It's a bit more like sarcastic. And I tried to have that come across in the song. I knew that I can't really sing angry. Like, one of the things that I can't really do as an artist, or at least not to the same extent that I wanted this, I can't sing, I wouldn't be able to sing this song angry because that's not what it was asking me to do. But I could sing it sarcastic. So it's that kind of like juxtaposition combination kind of thing, where the last verse is like, but I thought we had that special kind of something, but I guess that you just didn't think the same. Is can be like really pleading and really sad, but it can also be like really like over it and really frustrated, because it's like, you know, I thought we had this great thing, but I guess you just threw it out the window, you know, whatever. That kind of like, that kind of feeling. Kind of walk across dimensions, stroll around to distant lands, find the cable of connection, pretend I'll end up in your hands. Do you breathe another substance? Can we hold each other plane? Can we clear a bit of obstruction left behind from other ways you try to call me by my name? I think the idea throughout this EP as well is multiple stages of a breakup, multiple different perspectives and feelings around breaking up. Hence why it's called "This Is How I Got Over You." Like, breaking, when you break up with someone, it's not a set cycle. It's not a set of emotions that you'll naturally go through. You'll have different questions and different feelings. And one of the things that I kind of reference a little bit in this EP is being called by your name. I say it in I Don't Know. I mention it in this song. It's the idea of like being confronted with the reality of saying someone's name and how you say someone else's name, if that makes any sense. Like, when someone, you can call your significant other like baby or sweetie or honey or pookie or whatever, but as soon as they go like, Ian, what the fuck? You're like, that sounds different to me. So if when they like call you by your name in a certain way, you're confronted with that emotion that they're saying, if that makes any sense. And so a lot of that comes back to those feelings. Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I'm truly just going to really quickly make sure pull up my lyrics, just so I can make sure I'm like following the right verse, because I think I wrote two other verses that are not on this song. Fun facts. Factually. So that's sort of what the first verse is kind of like, that just kind of setting up the feeling of like being alone in a new, like being alone, but like
trying to face and confront different like feelings and emotions, like holding each other plain is like not being construed by like different emotions and feelings and circumstances and like fogging up the reality of like who you are. If we can hold each other plain, it's like setting up an honest conversation. And can we clear out of obstruction left behind from other ways you try to call me by my name? Is like the other ways that you try to like call me by my name in the sweet sense of like, I want you to call me honey and sweetie again, or like you fucking called me rude and mean and dishonest and a liar and lazy and stuff like that, like those feelings. So that juxtaposition there. And the second verse is really leads into How Is That Fair, which we'll dive into in just a second, where it's like, let me ask another question before this all crashes down and the tide rolls in and we get soaked and washed out to sea. The message you were sending, not a physical message, but like a literal message, is like, you know, you're more of a honey or sweetie kind of guy. I'm more of a sugar tits man. Stud. The message you were sending is not like a literal message. It's like a body language message in a way, or like a passive aggressive message of like, I regret, like, do you regret sending me that text message saying how am I? Because that's what the second song is about. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Anyway, is your suitcase closed and ready? Does your image look the same when you look at your reflection? Is it still the person that always looks back at you the same? I think is a fucking bar, by the way. I love that line. I love like just how like intentional that stanza is and like how it all wraps up together. I think I did a really excellent job at writing this EP, by the way. I'm very proud of how this EP came together. And that idea is like, you're already packed and ready to go. I could say one that I miss you, or like are you running from me or are you running from yourself kind of idea. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like questions that go unanswered in this EP as well, and there's a lot of like ambiguous things that I keep ambiguous because there is that like sometimes you don't get answers at the end of a relationship. The last kind of two stanzas in verse 3 are pretty cut and dry. What is fun about verse 3 though is that the lyrics, I wrote your name down in pencil, but you scratched it out with pen, was written on stream like 2 or 3 years ago. So if you're ever on stream and I say a bar and I write it down, you might hear it in a song at some point. I think Amy, I don't know, Amy, if that's a clip or something, or if I can show that on stream, but there's a video of me like eons ago, years and years and years. It was like 2 or 3 years. Ages. It was like, yeah. Me writing that down while just like I don't know why I was streaming writing a song, but I was, and that's the circumstance of that, which I think is very fun. It's not a Twitch clip, but it's a clip on Google Drive. Gotcha. March 2022. That was a bit of a trek ago. So very fun. I think that's everything that I have to talk about this song. Is there any questions about Come Tell Me Again? Because I think the song is really, really great. I love that the way the song turned out groove-wise. I think that the groove is really a driving element of this song, and I think it's very, like, it'd be fun to play this song live. Yeah, so it'd be fun, really fun to do that. And that's all of that. Shout out to Mitch again for playing these tasty guitars. But if there's no questions about this EP or about this song specifically, then we can move on to the next one. So as I'm getting this set up, you can feel free to like shoot a message in the chat so I can answer it and say like, this is what it is, or this is what it isn't. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. So just let me know. you have any questions? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope everyone's enjoying this. I can't believe it took about an hour to go through the first song, but it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Cool. Is everyone ready? How did you decide the order? How did I decide the order? I don't know. I don't think I ever had a set order in place. And I was debating putting I don't know at the very end for the longest time, just because it is so sad and it would be nice to like end. I thought it'd be nice to like end the EP on that like sad note. But I think I bounced it out, and when I was playing it for a bunch of people, they were like, no, Strangers have got to be last. Like, I like the way that it bounced out. It's in alphabetical order. Yeah, like Rap God said, it's that. I think it was just like, as soon as I bounced it out and started sharing it with people, they were like, this is the order, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I didn't put like a direct thought into it as much as like what other people were expecting it to be like, and other people enjoyed it. So when I was sharing it around, they were like, this should be the order. And I was like, yeah, good call. So, is everyone ready for How Is That Fair? Is everyone ready? Kind of some pogs in the chat if you're ready. Some pogs in the chat if you're ready. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Oh, it was JK. It was actually alphabetical. It is actually alphabetical. For real alphabetical. Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Pog, 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 pog. Okay. This is How Is That Fair? How Is That Fair has been stuck in my head for days. Good. That's all I gotta say. Good. It's interesting how in bands everyone does different things, but you have to carry 80-90% of the song by yourself. I think that's admirable. Yeah, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. But New Kiddo brings up a very interesting like discussion point about bands, and specifically about like splitting up songs, like who does what. Hot take incoming. Hot take is not incoming. I'm just like, maybe it is a hot take. I don't know. You let me know if it's a hot take. I think that bands are super, super difficult in the music industry nowadays, especially with the, cost of living and everything being a lot more expensive, and life just being, trying to figure out trying to be confronted with all of these decisions, and people have different life circumstances, so it's tough to like maintain a band. That makes sense. You see a lot more solo artists nowadays than bands. If like name 5 solo artists right now: Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, Noah Kahan, things like that. Independently making music is much more manageable. Yeah, interesting. Exactly. It's way easier for independent artists now to write and release their own music. You have really great sounding drums that you can just program in your bedroom. You can plug in a guitar right into your interface, and you don't need a Marshall tube amp that's like 10 grand in a studio. You don't need $500 a night. You don't need $500 for 3 hours of studio session time. You don't need to pay an engineer. The issue is that you have to learn all of these things now. You have to know how to engineer your own tracks, and you have to know how to produce, and how to ask the right people, and how to find the right connections and stuff like that. And it's difficult. It's so difficult. I'm very bad at connecting with independent artists. I'm very bad at figuring like collaborations and stuff. and make like connections and networking is tough. Connections and networking is even more difficult when you don't have the funds to like go on a tour or play a couple shows, or my bed is right there. It's way cheaper for me to walk here, sit down, and make music than it is to go to a studio. I go to studio with 5 other people who are my friends. Like, I would love to have friends over and make sick fucking tunes. But it's really hard to schedule people together, and because everyone's like figuring out, everyone has their own independent schedule that conflicts with a lot of other things. It's like trying to run a Dungeons and Dragons game. Shit gets difficult. And so like I love being in the headspace of making music and doing these things. And when I feel like a song isn't mine, I send it to someone else, or like I reach out to someone else and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Or hey, can I get you to play guitars on this track? Things like that. Like, that's what being a producer and stuff is about. Now, when it comes to breaking down things, at the end of the day, it's kind of just me. And I'm not saying that I'm better or worse than anyone else. Absolutely. Like, that's the thing with music, is that because it is like a form of self-expression, it's an art form. The like breakdown of who does what when you're doing it all yourself doesn't really matter, because you get 100%. Like, for How Is That Fair, I did everything in the song. I mixed it, I mastered it, I produced it, I recorded it, I did that. And I feel very proud in the fact that I get to say that. And that's something that I really, really like about making music, is that I can say, not as a flex, like a little bit as a flex, but mostly as like, you can do this too. I did all of this. Maybe it's not as professional as you would want it to be, but it's still good. I still think the song fucks. Lilacs was like, the song got stuck in my head for days. I think that's a success. I think I did a really good job. I'm very proud of these things, and sharing, I said this in my last video, sharing is the most important thing to releasing music. Finishing something and saying, I'm done with this, even if you don't share it, but finishing it is the most important step into learning what you can do better. Because if you just have a bunch of ideas, you're just an ideas guy. You're just like, oh, I have this really great idea for a song that's about, my experiences in elementary school and how it feels to be like a left out. That's a really great idea. You should write that song. But if you don't finish that song, then that's just an idea. Finishing something is a really, really crucial step. And that's why, like, I think it's tough for a lot of independent artists. And a song about oysters. Right, exactly. A song about oysters. That's why I think it's really tough for a bunch of independent artists. My opinion may change in a year time if things change. But as of right now, as of July 4th, happy Independence Day for those Americans. Good luck with your fucking elections. We're not that safe up here in Canada either, but you know what I mean. As of July 4th, 2024, it's really hard for just moving right on by. Just move on. It's really hard for independent artists to sometimes make that decision as a laughed out loud on that one. Someone clip that. It's really hard for independent artists to independent bands, I should say, to one, get the time together to work on new music and write stuff, and then two, to finish it. Because you can jam for as long as you want. Like, it's really fun to play with other musicians. I love singing in choirs. I love singing other songs together. I love playing my guitar and like have people play the piano at the same time and just like riffing off each other, and all of that stuff is so much fun. But if you don't finish something, then all that is just creative energy in that moment. And that's not a bad thing. But if you want to become like, if you want it to be a career or sustainable artist, or not even like world famous, go on stadium tours, just like sustainable living off of being a musician, you have to finish music. You have to write music and finish it. If you write a song and promote it and then don't release it, you just ruined it. You're just fucking edging people on. You're just edging people. So So finishing something is a really critical step, and I think that independent artists are far more prevalent nowadays, is because they have a higher likelihood and a better ability of finishing songs. Like, I love coming over to my desk, making some sick tunes, and like practice that mental. My daily routine is edging people based. I love coming over to my desk, making some sick tunes, and like flexing that muscle of like creativity. But at the end of the day, if I'm not releasing music, if I'm not finishing music, and a part of finishing music for me is releasing it, but it doesn't have to be for you. Music is completely subjective. So if you want just to write a song, finish it, and say it's for you, that's fine. That's all you. But saying this is done and I'm not going to work on it anymore is a critical step to learning how to improve. And independent musicians who don't necessarily need a band to like get going. That's why you see a lot of independent musicians with backing bands. If you're not finishing music, you're not Ian the Music. Bang! I'm just Ian the idea guy. Ian is the music. Yeah, I can't believe I invented music. Isn't that weird? John Cage who? Fucking Beethoven, middle name was Ian. Did you know that? Anyway, long tangent. Hey, thanks for inventing music, man. I got you. Keep forgetting to say thanks. No, hey, no worries. It's a thankless job. But that's sort of my opinions about. I think that independent artists, only you would know that. I think that we see less bands because of, well, one, like how we share music and how we, like, word of mouth being the most prevalent way of like promotion of music. Like, it's easier to share a song by texting it to someone than saying you should go see these people live. You kind of need to make the audience and then perform live, if that makes any sense. Just from like my experience of like knowing a couple of people in the industry and like how that's turned out for them. There's a couple of bands that I'm aware of that stopped being bands because of creative differences, scheduling conflicts, recording issues, money, finance, like a whole bunch of other things that like independent artists struggle with, but it's a different struggle because they don't need to like worry about their drummer showing up drunk and high and playing like shit when they're trying to record their new single. Does that make sense? That's kind of where I'm coming from all this. It's not that I think that playing with bands and playing with other people and like making music with other people and like writing songs with other people is bad. It's just harder to do nowadays, if that makes sense. Rap God MD, hit me up. We should do a collab track though. Like, if you truly want to get on that, DM me. Anyway, this is How Is That Fair? This is the music for it. This is my track. I wrote this. Everything I did on this track is me. Here we go. Enjoy. Please work. Please work.
Got just what you wanted, the time we spent forgotten, the end of something special, disappearing in the air. You give your list of reasons, expect me to believe them. I look at your face, you have nothing else to say. Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? So what do you want from me? One step backwards in the thick of things? What are you trying to see? Press and pretend that it's honesty. Are you trying to clear the air, or reignite the flame, or simply pulling strings? Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair? Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair?
Bang. This one's truly like a speed run. Ooga booga booga woogie, bass line, right? Okay, let's start at the bass. This one truly feels like a train that's about to fall off the tracks, and that's kind of the intention behind it. It's a super folk inspired song. It's super folky. It's super like boogie woogie bass line like kind of vibe. This is me playing the bass again. Fast as folk, boy, right? Fast as fucking folk. This is me playing the bass. How did this song even start? Oh my gosh, hold on. This song started way different. Hold on. This song started, let me see if I can so I was going through my I keep a lot of music stuff on my voice notes, as like probably every musician does. Demo reveal indeed. Here is here, I'll play an original demo. I'm going to put these audio files up on my Ko-Fi plug. I think these probably suit best on Ko-Fi as just like a cheeky little plug there. But here is a demo made March 13th, 2023.
Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on separately in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? You got just what you wanted.
So there's that demo, and then 2 days before that, on March 11th, 2023. On March 11th, 2023, I recorded this.
You got just what you wanted. The time we spent forgotten. The end of something special, disappearing in the air. You give your list of reasons, expect me to believe them. I look at your face, you have nothing else to say. Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on separately.
It's interesting that I said separately instead of completely.
Moving on is harder text me once again just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? And how is that fair?
Anyway, so if you want to hear those demos again, they're going to be on my Ko-Fi, just as a little plug. Fun facts. But that's where the song started from. It was this super like emo kind of vibe, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Fight me if you want. I thought the song was really, really dope. It was super like honest. To me, that opening line, "You got just what you wanted, the time we spent forgotten, the end of something special disappearing in the air," is super brutal. And then you give your list of reasons, expect me to believe them. I look at your face and you have nothing else to say. It's just super like, are you fucking serious about this stuff? Is sort of like where I was at that moment. And I played it as like this emo banger. And then I was like, this is off. This needs to be like a train wreck in a way. And so I picked up the pace. And with this mandolin, we're off to the races. And we're just like, we're going. Soon as that mandolin comes in, you're like, oh, I get it. This is where we're at now. So it's that like that feeling of like, you know, we're going to it. And especially with these drums, again, Logic has again these roots rock kit. All of this stuff is frozen right now, like the audio tracks wise, and partially because of that, because I accidentally recorded the song in 48 instead of 44.1. And it just means that the files are bigger. Anyway, so if we want to go into that, we can, but that's a very complicated thing to explain, and I don't really know how to explain it fully. But anyway, I recorded this so that there's more data in the files, which means that the session is larger. Which just means that I had to do some session management and make sure that this song doesn't blow up. And that this song doesn't blow up, and then I'm still able to mix it and stuff. So that's why you see a lot of like, these are like frozen, these are just like not there, they're all like whatever. So that's part of it. But this song started like that sad like kind of idea. So I'm gonna mute the background vocals really quickly just because I think they're fun to like dive into in a little bit, and same with the main vocal. But we'll start with the bass, because I think the bass is really fun. It's super boogie woogie, and I loved playing this bass. I posted on Instagram about like finding that bass tone, and I have surgical tape wrapped around the bass strings. For the longest time, there was surgical tape around the bass that I have in frame here, if you can see that. For the longest time, I had circle tape around there because when I played this bass line, I couldn't get the strings to stop ringing as much as I wanted them to because I could hear them ring. But then that's me playing the bass. I'm so cool. And I love the chorus bass line too. It just adds like a different sort of like contrasting melody to the rest of the acoustic guitar, which sounds like this. I love contrast. I love contrast too. Fuck yeah. then we go, so it starts out palm muted, and then we go into full guitar mode. Again, that just has some like light compression on it. It's being sent to a reverb. Very, very classic things to do with an acoustic guitar. And that's because I just really like the way the acoustic guitar sounds. Something about the acoustic guitar just like really rustles my jimmies, and I really like it. Rustles my jimmies in a positive way. This is my mandolin that I have. It's in my closet right now, but no, sorry, it's right here. It's right behind me. Let's go to this chorus here. And what's really great about the mandolin is that when it comes to the mandolin and the acoustic guitar, because the mandolin is so much higher, it adds such like a nice like bright texture to the acoustic guitar. So when it's played at the same time, you get this like super layered, almost 12 string, but not really kind of idea. And it's super full, and I love it so much. But there's not a lot of low end in the guitar. I fucking love the sound of just like acoustic instruments, especially when they're like layered and textured and stuff. But when you layer it with this bass guitar, you get this really full, very tasty, very tangy. I don't know why I'm using food metaphors when talking about music, but you know what I mean. You get this very full sound. And same with this song here. I also did want to have that sound of like it being played live, which is why the left mandolin and the right mandolin don't actually play the exact same thing. If you hear, right here. The mandolin in your right ear plays a little bit of a hammer-on stuff here and there. So you get that super layered stuff. They get super layered. It's really, really lovely. I think this drum kit is just like this very classic standard retro rock Bluebird whatever drum kits that built into Logic. Oh, that's because there's built-in like processing to it as well. So I think I added this. No, I didn't. But I did edit the plugins here. But you get this like really crunchy retro rock kind of like folk, almost like country folky kind of sound that's really great. And again, when you have the tools at your disposal that sound as good as this, and you can edit them and make it sound really dope, use them. You're not being a cop-out producer if you're using like stuff that's built into the system. I like this ending bit here. I really like that ending. Just that little drum fill, little tasty stuff. This song came together in a flash, truly. Like as soon as I started recording, it happened. Now, before we get to the vocals, I want to talk about the electric guitar in the song because for those of you who don't know, I play rhythm guitar really, really well. This is the first time I've released music with me playing a guitar solo. I want to put that out there. I think it's really, really important to like hype yourself up a little bit. I think I did a really, really good job of this guitar solo. Let's go, Ian. Thank you. Hell yeah. I'm very, very happy about how it turned out. I will not tell you how many times it took me to get this one take. I won't. But just know that it's more than 4. Yeah. Okay. So, but this guitar take is just so, I'm so proud of it. It's because it actually sounds good. And one of the things that I did, and I think I deleted it. I think I deleted the take as well for like project management stuff. But what I did was I sung, like you heard on the demo, I sung a melody line that I wanted to play on the guitar. So it's like bam 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 down bam 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 ba 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 boop ba ba. Like I hummed the melody or the rhythm or both or just like whatever. And then I was like, okay, how do I play that on a guitar? That's a pro producer strat, by the way. If you want a melody on another instrument, but you don't really know how to play it, but you can play it well enough to like, once you hear a melody, you can like, once I heard what I wanted to play and sung it, I could transfer the notes over the guitar and learn it and then record it. So that's what I did. And I wanted the guitars to sound more full. So I did 2 takes that sounded really, really good together, and panned them only slightly, 10 on each side. So you get a really full face of electric guitar, but it's still me playing the solo. So it sounds like it's the same, but it's slightly off because they're slightly different. So this is the one on your left ear, slightly on your left. There's no intro to it. It's just the solo, if that makes any sense. There's that 60 cycle hum. That's the cycle. I hate this sound. The sound right here. That sound sucks. But I kept it in because it sounds real. Anyway, and then this is the one on your other ear. Making music is hard. Making music is hard. So together, it sounds like one guitar, but like it sounds like one guitar, but 2 guitars. If that makes any sense, it just sounds like a good solo. And I played this, and I'm very, very happy about it. So you get a nice full sound of that guitar. And then at the very final chorus, you get this echoey guitar, electric guitar making a little bit more like spacious layers. Spacious layers. Right here. And it's just such like a nice like fade out for the rest of the song, as that the echoes like keep echoing. Yeah, not much in a way of like not there's a lot of production, but not a lot of like processing, if that makes sense. They're all just sent to a couple of reverbs to like glue it all together. Vocally, this song is like, I really tried to sing it like frustrated, because the song is about like being genuinely asking like, what are you doing? How is what you're doing fair to either of us, really? Like, you broke up with me, you tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, and that we both moved on completely in the end, like we're both fine, and then you go, hey, how you doing? And it's like, moving on is harder when you text me again. Like, what are you, like, I genuinely, what are you doing? And you're not even like, it's not even like, hey, can I get my stuff back? Or like, hey, hey, can I get the key to my house? Or it's like, hey, I left my bike at your place. It's just, hi, how are you? Like, what, why are you doing this? why are you bringing all of these emotions back? Why are you making me process this stuff again? Like, you're not even helping yourself out. You're like, you need to cut it out, pretty much. And it was so frustrating. And that's what the song's like really about. I love these background vocals. I love them so fucking much. Vocals are really difficult, especially doing background vocals. Now, when you do background vocals, sometimes you have to either think about you have to think about it as another melodic element with harmony, or you think about it as chordal elements in harmony. And I try to get both in this song. You'll see that I have soprano, alto, bass. Let me just open all of them up. Soprano, alto, bass, and then doubles. That's kind of how I broke it up. But there's a lot of vocal takes in here. So this is the chorus. Are these the same? They're the same. They're the same? They're the same. So this is the chorus.
Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair?
And it's like, it's almost vocoder-esque. Almost. But it is just like chordal information, which is why it gives it that vocoder sound kind of vibe. Because it's not like you're singing a counter melody, you're singing chords. Like these are just these here are just chords. This is just chordal information.
Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I...
So it's just chord information. And then when you go over to the doubles section over here, all of this stuff is sort of more melodic information. Like this post-chorus, or this is chorus and a post-chorus. So...
Tell yourself that you're just fine enough with...
You get doubles, panned, which is really, really great. Make it sound more thick and juicy.
Fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair?
And then harmony elements. Melody harmony. Right here. And you really swim in those harmonies. You swim in those harmonies so much. So after the chorus, you get this.
Fair.
Lead vocal.
How is that fair?
Harmony.
How is that fair? How is that fair?
You love that little country yell that I do there, huh? Anyway, so you get all of that like chordal contextual information. I'm not going like you get all of the melodic harmony information, but I'm not going in being like, this has to be like a G sharp, this has to be like F, this has to be D. No, like I'm thinking of the melody and like singing what sounds right. And then for the chorus, I'm like, I don't want to do that same sort of idea, so I'm going to do chordal information harmonies, and that's where you get all of this stuff. So all together, it sounds like this.
Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair?
So this song, lyrically wise, if you want to do a breakdown of the lyrics, again, if you have any questions, please holler. If you have any questions about the lyrics, please holler. I said that. Lyrically wise, the song is pretty straightforward. It's truly just, the whole song is just a question of like, how is what you're doing fair to me, but also how is it fair to you? It's not fair to you and your healing process if you're reaching out to me just to ask how I'm doing and just to ask what's up. Like, that's not fair. Like, if I get this text before I go on a big trip, all I'm going to be thinking about on that big trip is the text being like, how are you doing? Like, that's not fair to like the enjoyment of my trip. That's not fair to the enjoyment of your summer or your spring or your winter or your fall or whatever you're doing. Don't message your ex. Don't do it. If you've broken up for real, don't message them. That's my pro tip for you today. And what's nice is that it wasn't me messaging, lol. It sounds so passive aggressive, like, hey, you know, moving on is a little hard when you message me, don't you think? Exactly. That's exactly the point of this song. It's like, I'm moving on. I don't want to be feeling the feelings that I just dealt with. I want to be I've moved, my feelings have moved on to a different stage of like the healing process. Again, sort of the overarching theme within this EP. I don't want to go back to like those feelings of like sadness and regret or doubt or whatever. I want to feel better. I want to feel myself again. This song is like, what, like very passive aggressive, being like, what are you doing? Genuinely. So that's exactly what it is, New Kiddo. You nailed it right on the head. It is passive aggressive. Like moving on's a little hard when you message me, don't you think? 100%. That's 100% what it is. So and again, this song's a whirlwind. It's pretty like straightforward. One of my favorite lines in this song is press send, pretend that it's honesty. I think that line's very, very poignant in the context of the entire song, because it's like, yeah, you send a text and you pretend that it's for good reasons, but you're really just doing it for you. Like, you're not doing it for any probably like good reasons. I heard that. Yeah, for real. You heard what? Wait, what did you hear? Anyway, that line is yeah, that line, it hit. It totally hit. Press and pretend that it's honesty is kind of is not kind of a bar. It really is a bar, because it's like I hear that. Oh, excuse me. I thought you were like, Ian, I heard you fart. I'm like, I didn't fart, guys. Anyway, so that's the whole like that second verse took me so long to write, by the way. That second verse I think was the last thing I wrote on the EP, I think, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, that went down the wrong pipe. Yeah, I think that second verse, I heard that. That second verse was the last thing I think I wrote in the EP. The idea of like, what do you want from me? Like, you want me to take one step backwards in the thick of things? What are you trying to see? Like, what do you want in this? What outcome of this conversation do you want to have happen? Because we're not getting back together. That's not happening. So what do you want? Like, is this because you need something back? Is this because you're trying to like get back at me in a way? Like, what is happening? And then you send the text and you pretend that it's like honest and good intentions, but it's not. And then are you it's just all questions. Like, are you trying to clear the air or reignite the flame? Or are you simply just pulling strings? Like, are you simply just being a dink? Like, what's going on? Yeah, so I think the song is like, as much of a whirlwind as this song is, I think it's really, really dope. Big fan. So, any questions about that one? Any questions, or concerns? Now is the time to air out your grievances, air out your ideas, air out your feelings, air out all of these things relating to that song, because we're going to move on to the next one shortly. So if you have any other feelings about it, can you play it again? Yeah, sure, I'll play it again. Let me open it back up. I will definitely play it again. You ready? It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds, so don't worry, it'll go by in a lickety split here. Okay, ready? Here we go. Playing it again.
got just what you wanted. The time we spent forgotten. The end of something special, disappearing in the air. You give your list of reasons, expect me to believe them. I look at your face, you have nothing else to say. Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? So what do you want from me? One step backwards in the thick of things? What are you trying to see? Press and pretend that it's honesty? Are you trying to clear the air? Or reignite the flame? Or simply pulling strings? Tell yourself that you're just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair? Just fine enough without me, that we both moved on completely in the end. Moving on is harder when you text me once again, just to ask how I have been. How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that fair?
Yeah, the lyrics are actually so angry, but the song is like you pretending to sound happy. That's exactly what it is. That's like that's that musical feeling of like, you know, smiling through a train wreck in a sense. It's such an angry song and I love it. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Intentional. Yeah. So that's that song. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? We're halfway through the EP. Are you excited? You excited for the next two songs? Because I am. I'm having a great old time. This is a great stream. I'm really enjoying myself. So hype. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I really, really fucking appreciate it. I'm here for strangers. Hey, you and me both. Okay. So. Yeah, okay. This one might take like just a little bit to like, not gonna lie, this is my first listen through and there's no one I'd rather do it with. Oh my gosh, fuck yeah, dude, hell yeah, Nathan. I really appreciate it. I'm just glad you're here, man. It's good to see your messages, to know that you're still alive on the other end of that screen, or the other end of this screen, you know what I mean. Rad. Fuck yeah, rad. Well, they're out now everywhere you get your music, everyone. So this is the next song. The next song is called I Don't Know. Fun fact about this song, I wrote it. I started writing the song when I don't know if I had COVID or I just had a really bad cold, but I was sick for a little while and I wrote this song. So this is I Don't Know. So please enjoy I Don't Know. Everyone ready? Here we go.
The snow is colder where you walk. All I hear are daggers when you talk. I don't catch myself looking at the ground when you're not around. The ice we skate is getting thin. I think that you wanna push me in. Every time I think we took a step, we're not there yet. Am I to blame? I don't know. If you lash out, would you say my name? If it falls down, would you celebrate? If I break down, would you feel no pain? Do I know now that you feel ashamed? Am I to blame? I don't know. I would fall at your command, but I forget the last time we held hands. Are you happy without seeing me honestly? Am I to blame? I don't know. If you lash out, would you say my name? If it falls down, would you celebrate? If I break down, would you feel no pain? Do I know now that you feel ashamed? Am I to blame? I don't know. If you lash out, the snow is cold around. If it falls down, all I hear when you talk. If I break down, ice we skate. Do I know now you wanna push me in? Am I to blame? I don't know.
Damn. Okay. So, this is my whiskey song. This is a whiskey song? What do you mean by whiskey song? My abandonment issue song, for real. Damn, for real. For real, for real. Oh no. This song, we'll talk about production and then we'll talk about lyrics. How about that? So every time I feel like I nailed this song. I feel like I nailed this song so good. Well, it's like you drink whiskey and feel sad or something like that. I get you. You know what? I totally get you. This is just a song that I think I nailed. Like starting off with these guitars, like we have 4 layers of acoustic guitar, all panned slightly in slightly different variations. So there's like one here. Sorry, there's one here. Way off to the side. There's one slightly beside that. So you get a little bit over here. Then there's one on the other side. Then you get the one on the way far side.
And everything, if I'm doing this correctly, let me just double check. Everything. Okay, forgive me. Almost everything is going through this Valhalla Supermassive plugin. It's free. Get it if you don't have it. But it's beautiful. It just adds this such like an airy quality to it. Adds just air. You hear that? It's just extra something to it. See? It's that extra shimmer, that extra air, but it's in the reverb and it surrounds you. So you get that, and then, excuse me, I don't want cycle on right now. And then in the sort of like build-up section, I'll call it, you also get these pitched acoustic guitars. And I think these are different takes. These are another take of the guitar. So I did 8 takes of guitar. And you get that extra shimmer. One of the things that I think everyone should take away if you're making music is sometimes pitching things up or down an octave just sounds really cool. That's what happened here. So you get this like almost like what? You get this almost like mandolin combo sound. Halfway you get this it's almost like mandolin-esque, but like not a mandolin, but still really dope. And these guitars have such energy behind them too, such like intention, such build, such feeling, that just feels so good. So you get that extra shimmer too. So it's almost like a crystallizer effect, but using an acoustic guitar that's pitched up an octave. It adds just such like a great layer to it. And you get, it's just so many acoustic guitars, truly. It just like barely sounds like something from that one song Kiss Me, but like sad. Like Kiss Me by Ed Sheeran or Kiss Me by who? Yeah, so you get that like almost crystallizer sound. And then on top of that, and I produced the song so fast. Again, like this song came together as soon as I started writing it. Now, I have this guitar, the pad out of a guitar sound. If you're familiar with this is what this sounds like. And that's just going through the entire song. Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me. I'll listen to it later, for sure. But I wonder what. Hold on. Sixpence. Kiss Me. Sixpence on the Richer. What is this? What are you? Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
kinda. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, but so what we have is this. Sorry, hold on. This sound is made from this. Sorry, it's made from this sound, which is a bunch of reverb and an EQ and a couple of other things. Mostly this room reverb, just like cranked to the wazoo. So I get this sound and I bounce it down into the sound here and use it as a pad instead of a guitar sound. So it sounds like a guitar, but it also sounds real but sounds fake. So that's like using acoustic instruments processed in a way that's like very interesting. As I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, where I was like wanting to use acoustic elements in non-acoustic ways. That I think that's really cool. That just that sound. So this like
Push me in.
Sorry, excuse me. You get this sound. And it's just layered in the background as well. You know, that just like, and it swells in and out too. That's why all these like fades are here and there all over the place. So you get that element too as well. And I think also here too. Yeah. So you get that. And then these vocals we'll talk about right now. So, let's talk about this chorus vocal. So first, it's these vocals here. First chorus. It's ethereal, absolutely.
If you lash out, would you say my name? If it falls down, would you celebrate?
Is this a yelly one? I was yelling in one of them.
If it falls down.
Yeah, that one is kind of yelly. What are you? Are you kind of yelly?
If it falls down.
Not at all, but that's so lovely. Again, I love the way that the NT1A picks up my voice. It sounds really nice.
If it falls down, would you celebrate?
How the hell did I sing up that high? Look at me go. Anyway, and then what are you? Double? Probably.
If it falls down.
Yeah. So altogether, you get this like multi-layered feeling.
If it falls down, would you celebrate?
And it's not necessarily chord information, but it's also not necessarily not chord information. And then the difference between the first chorus and the second chorus is just this layer here, which I think is more yelly.
If you lash out.
Oh, it's just that harmony. Okay, so then you get even more tonal information, more chordal information.
If you lash out, would you say my name?
I think that third is really important in there. That like just extra feeling.
If you lash out, would you say my name?
Yeah, I love this. I love this so much.
If it falls down,
Sing it.
would you celebrate?
Go, man. Go. Sing it.
If I break down, would you feel no pain?
Fuck yeah.
Do I know now that you feel ashamed?
And sometimes individual notes move before other notes, so you get like this super rich, and I put vocals cash because this take was golden. So that's sometimes when I'm doing vocal takes, I write dollar signs to be like, this is the money take.
If you lash out, would you say my name?
Yeah, for real. Dollar signs for real, no kiddo. Can it be me? Dude, it's just about like what makes sense. You know, what makes sense for you. And if it doesn't make sense, if you don't want to do it, don't have to do it. You're still a musician, even if you don't do choirs. You know what I mean? Dude, hell yeah. What else? But one of the things that I really was like paying attention to while singing these vocals is like trying to cut off at the same time. So it's like, if you lash out. So it's like it all snaps together in a way. I don't think it was perfect, but it was close.
If it falls down, would you celebrate?
Okay, I'm not like depresso, but thanks for the pep talk. Dude, sometimes pep talks are lovely. Sometimes you don't need to hear them, but then you hear them and you're like, I do feel a little bit better. Even if you didn't need to feel better anyway. And then at the very end, this is that swirly feeling. Now, I'm going to mute this one. I'm going to mute sorry, I'm going to, what am I doing? I want to solo, start from the top. So what are you? Dude, I am very happy with my vocal range. Gotta be honest. Not to flex, but listen to me. Listen. And feeding into that reverb that's on this vocal chain. Is it on this vocal chain? Yeah, feeding into the reverb just like really adds that extra like something to it. And the thing is, I just love to sing. So I really love it when like the vocals like feed in and out to each other. And the thing is, they don't sound like much, but when you start adding stuff on top, then you start getting something that sounds really pretty. Then you get this. So you get vocal swells and ins and outs and ups and downs on it. So you get that emotion. And then I don't know what's down here, but I know that these aren't words necessarily just yet. So then you get this. So altogether, you have this like excellent swell, push, pull feeling of the entire before the words come. And it ends on a minor chord, like, oh. Okay, on top of that, you have, sorry, hold on. I should have added these guys in there as well. So you get the whole sort of spectrum of sound, because it's really important. Anyway, so you get that element. And then one of the things that you could have done, or that I could have done in this song, was use an echo. But one of the things that I didn't want to do was have each side be the exact same on both sides. So I decided to sing the lyrics twice and then pan them so you get that call and response of the lyrics.
If you lash out, the snow is cold to where you are. If it falls down, all I hear when you talk. If I break down, the ice we skate is thin. Do I know now? You wanna push me in.
Now, what I think is really important is vocal timbre and vocal like intonation almost. When you sing, you can sing very breathy. Like I start very breathy right here,
If you lash out,
which is like all like up here in the head, like up in the high, like airy texture of my voice. But then when you hear the echoes, they're like screaming, and that's really cool. So you get this like airy texture, but then these like screams on the other side of your ears, which adds this like, again, like this layers, these like harshness, this like questioning, this very confused part of it. And then I love this bass. I love how this bass, it's almost like a sine bass. It's just so good. Pitch correction and this bass amp. These are my settings. It's deep. I don't know what set. I changed a couple of settings, but that's what it is. And it just like rumbles your stomach. And when it comes in, like when it says I don't know, you feel the bass, you feel the heaviness of that realization, and then the song continues. You just get that like, oh shit. And then at the very end, it has this like, I like the melody, like da-dum, dum, 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 da-dum, da-dum, dum, 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 da-dum. It's playing like a counter melody to what's going on. So you just get this swirl of sound and emotion and feeling in this entire song. And that's super critical because the song is about being unsure about what to do next. It's about being confused about where to go, like being confused about like not having that person that you're so used to having around. Like what are the outcomes of the decisions that, like, do you talk about me? Do you talk shit about me to your friends? Do you like regret anything? Are you ashamed of us being together? These things, these like really like sad, like, and it's like at the very end, it's like, am I to blame for the result of this breakup happening? Well, I don't know, and you will never know because you can't like sit down with your ex and be like, yeah, like, so what was that, like, why did we break up? Because it's going to be like, that's not a conversation that's, one, probably ever going to happen, and also, two, an easy one to have. It's really like, the whole thing is like, the first verse is like, you can feel this cold sense, like this, the snow is colder where you walk is such like a brutal line. It's so, I think that this song might be my best like poetically, if that makes sense. And then Strangers is my best like literally, if that makes any sense. Like the difference between like metaphors and then like a more like direct approach. This one's a bit more ambiguous of being like, I don't catch myself looking at the ground when you're not around. What that means is I'm looking at the ground and I catch myself looking at the ground being sad when I'm with you. And that's not a good thing. Like, that can't be good. And then it's like, if you lash out, would you blame me? Would you say say my name? Like the come tell me again. Like, is this just another way of you like taking it out on me and like blaming me for things that you might have done wrong, or that really you should confront yourself, because it's not my fault that this is, it's like sometimes you do have to look at yourself and realize that it's you that might be at fault, and that's okay. It's okay to like make mistakes and learn. No one is perfect. There's no way to be like, I'm 100% right in this situation, fuck you. Like, no, but it's how you handle the situation. If it falls down, would you celebrate is just very direct of like, if our relationship falls to the ground, would you be happy about it? Again, like sort of circling back to the come tell me again aspect. They all kind of like tie in together. If I break down, would you feel no pain is so sad. It's so like I am struggling. Would you be there in the trenches with me? Or would you not? And do I know now that it's all over, do I know that you feel ashamed that you were even in this situation? Like, that hurts. And then, am I to blame is super honest, because like maybe you are, and maybe you have to confront that, but I don't know is the response to all of the questions that are posed in the chorus, because you will never know. You'll never know if they feel ashamed about being with you, because they're not going to tell you that, and you will never find out. Doesn't that fucking suck? But that's what the song's about. It's about being unsure and ambiguous, or at least that's my intention behind the song. Please put your own meaning within these songs and apply meanings to these songs yourselves, because that's what is so great about music. You can like be like, well, I think that it means this, and you will be correct. Oof. Yeah, oof indeed. Every time I play this song, it like really, holy shit. There's a gravitas to it. There's a weight to this song that every time I play it, like the room stands still. It's like, damn, this, like, for real? On God? Brutal? Exactly. Like, speak your shit, Ian. But that idea, that's that whole like ambiguity about things. And I think that a lot of people may like crawl back to relationships because they're looking for answers, and then they end up hurting themselves even more. And that's what the song would this song hits like on a cold night with snow on the ground and post breakup kind of idea. Like that's the song would slap hard. So send it to your friend who just got broken up with when it's like October. Do it. There's that. Does anyone have any questions about this song? I don't think there's much to go into like detail wise about production. I think it's very straightforward of like, I'm EQing and compressing my voice in a way that I think it sounds good. I'm taking off a little bit of high end. I'm, compressing it using like a vintage opto setting with a little bit of limiter and some makeup gain and things like that. And then the EQ, I like this tube EQ. I bring up a bit of a high boost, and I cut it a little bit more at 20 hertz, but like a lot of high boost at like big bandwidth, and just like a lot of that. And then it goes to the main vocal thing, which just has another compressor, another EQ, a compressor, and a limiter, which brings it all up again. Sending it to someone who you think is about to break up is the meta play. Not someone who's about to break up, someone who just broke up. Don't be like, you're about to break up, you need this song. But sending it to someone who's about to break up would be so funny. Be like, hey, I know what's about to go down. You need this, man. That's so funny too. So that is, I don't know. It's very like inspired Bon Iver kind of style, Nova Amor, whatever. Like kind of that like cold folky kind of style that you see very For Emma Forever Ago in a way. If that's if you're familiar with those songs. Yeah, that is all of that. Any questions about that? Any questions about all of that? I'd love to hear what you're thinking. So let me know. Yeah. Any final words before we move on to Strangers, our fourth and final track of the day? Anyone? Any subs? Anyone have a Subway sandwich today? Swag, very swag. Yeah, hype, swag, hype indeed. So people are chilling, people are good. I will move on to our banger of a song, Strangers, right now. Excuse me. Excuse me. Strangers. Yeah, Strangers is a banger. Strangers really is a banger. I'm very glad that this is so hype. Yeah. So, as this loads, I'm just gonna quickly run to fill up my water bottle because I'm getting that just little parched. Definitely my favorite on this EP. Hell yeah! 1 second, guys. 1 second, everyone. 1 second, gang. 1 second, gang. I'm back. Yeah. I'm back, everyone. Yeah, definitely a fan favorite on this EP for sure. Minor quench your thirst. I will say that I think so. Strangers was the last song I wrote on this EP. Strangers was the last song I wrote on this EP. So, to put it in context, I think that Crazy we just drank simultaneously. Hey, cheers to you, man. Strangers was last on the EP. I think, what was first? I don't remember which song was first, but one of them was. It might have been How Is That Fair? Like the first verse and chorus of How Is That Fair, and then I did Come Tell Me Again. Then I Don't Know. Then wrote the last verse, then wrote Strangers, and then wrote the final verse for How Is That Fair. I think that's how it went. Not positive on that though, but that's my best guess. So, this one is 99 tracks. 99 tracks. Bang. Ready? Woo! Woo! Address the banger allegations. This is a banger. Everyone, this is a banger. It's a banger. So without further ado, please enjoy this banger of a track. This is Strangers by yours truly. Everyone ready? Here we go.
I swear I picked you up in my car more than you came to my house. Not that that's a problem, but you never seem to like being around. Were you ever happy when I talked about the future that I saw? Or were you already over every part of me, just planning for the fall? I think that you think that I don't think about it. I think that you think that I'm wrong. I bet that you bet that I don't know about him and how you quickly moved on. I see strangers all the time, and they don't occupy my mind. I now look at you the same. Have a nice day. I see strangers all the time, and our paths won't intertwine. No more leading me astray. Have a nice day. I found a paper paper trail of letters that you wrote me the other day. Strange that the words you wrote contradict the parting of our ways. I think that you think that I don't think about it. I think that you think that I'm wrong. I bet that you bet that I don't know about him and how you quickly moved on. I see strangers all the time and they don't occupy my mind. I now look at you the same. Have a nice day. I see strangers all the time and our paths won't intertwine. No more leading me astray. Have a nice day. I see strangers all the time, and they don't occupy my mind. I now look at you the same. Have a nice day. I see strangers all the time, and our paths won't intertwine. No more leading me astray. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Oh, this song's a fucking banger. Song slaps. So, everyone ready to dive into this one? Let's start in the acoustic guitar. I think this is a great place to start because this is the first thing I recorded, and I barely touched it as soon as I was recorded because it's that raw feeling. It's that raw sound. That's what you're looking for in acoustic guitar. It's truly just like going through some light EQ and compressor. That's it. That's all. There's no reverb on this guitar. There's no extra anything. It's truly just like what sounds good on the guitar. And that's really, really important. Sometimes you don't want to overproduce things. We stopped paying therapists with this one. Yeah. Actually, therapy is really dope. But so what's really great is that like that's what sometimes you don't want to overproduce instruments because then it like sucks the life out of them. This acoustic guitar has so much life in it. And you can actually hear me move the guitar in your left ear, or your right ear, excuse me, to readjust while I was playing. Listen. Right there. Because it adds like a real element to it. Yeah. I just think I captured the guitar really, really well. That really, really fit that song. Really fits this song, and the guitar sounds so good. It's nice and low. It's full, but it's not taking up the bass frequencies. It just sounds really, really great. We'll jump over to drums right now. I think this is a good place to go. So these crush, snare, slam, kick, spacey overheads. That's my Okay, weird. That's my processing on the drum kit here. So all of these were like sent to my tracks. So all these are sent to my processing as opposed to like the process. They don't even have processing on this kit. So I process these snare, kick, and overheads how I would like do it normally. So we have, hold on, bro. Huh? Oh, hold on. This one. Anyway, I don't know if I can like solo it exactly the way I want it to. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so first, this is what the snare sounds like. Super punchy, like super gated, punchy, and crunchy. What it does is it just adds an extra layer to the snare already, and I love those punchy snares. I love punchy snares. I don't want deep snares. I want punchy ones. Punch me in the face with that snare. Oh! So that adds just like an extra layer to it. And then we have this slammed kick, which just like girths up the kick a lot. Again, all of these are like mixed in properly. So when you go here, it adds just like such a solid kick. That was aggressive. Why, thank you. Such a solid kick to this guy. And spacey overheads is like stereo spread, things like that. So again, just like more light, high range information that really like fills out the drum kit entirely. Yeah, and I have a gate. Yeah, I do. I have a gate on the snare to like, because I don't want it to be like, I want it to be, I do want the sound. It sounds weird because it almost sounds electronic, but that's the point. When you get to here, wait, what the hell is this? Oh, yeah. Okay, so when we get to the chorus, it sounds like super large. And I want that sound. I want these drums to be big in the chorus and not as big in the other thing. And that's why you play with like velocity and stuff. You see these are really like not as punchy, but then when you get to over here to the chorus, it's like, damn, these are all red and loud. So it's playing with the velocity as if it's a real drummer as well. On top of that, there's these sped up drum kit. So I took the drum kit and half-timed it and then sped it up to get this sound. Actually, this has some delay on it, so it sounds like this. Which is a trick I got from Jacob Collier, and I think also it's also in 21 Pilots as well. If you take a drum kit, if you take this drum kit, let's here, I'll show you this example. So let's take this and shmish it over here. Solo it. Yeah, okay, so let's bounce this in place. Just as an example. So this is the drum kit bounced in place. Where are you? Right here. What you can do is if you you should be, let me just cut you to length. So this is how many beats long, how many bars long. Right here is the middle. Actually, right. What? How many? 16, so is this 8 right here? Yeah, okay. So if you take this, you can speed it up to be this fast, and it sounds like this now. But what you do is, rather than doing it like it sounds like that, which sounds super weird, what you do is you can go here, unmute this, whoops, unmute this guy, go to functions, MIDI transform, and you can half speed it. Whoops. There we go. So now, all of the MIDI information that I've made is halftime. All of the MIDI information that I've made is halftime. You can see it's all right here. So when you bounce this in place and do that trick that I'll show you one more time. So when you have it here, and you take it, sounds like this. But if you, okay, this is gonna be tough to, I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's about right. And you speed it up here. Now it's going to be the same drum groove, but sound different. Listen. But it's now way more punchy, way more like funky almost. And when you get to the groove, when you get to like tom fills, it just adds this like super dope element that when you process it right, sounds really, really cool. Hold on, I'm just undoing all of this so you don't have to, I don't have this in my session. So that's what this is here. That's this, it's the same drum, but it's now like delayed and stereo delayed and pitched up a little bit. So you get that like punchy element, but you also get these massive fucking honking, big chonking, big donka donka honka chonka drums. And it's almost acting like a shaker in a way. But you still get that stereo spread, you get that feeling, you get that groove. It adds to the texture of the drums, which I think is really important. A bit of a tangent, but drum production there for you. That's just throughout the whole rest of the song. That's what you hear at the very end too, like right here. With these acoustic guitars. It's that sound. Isn't that kind of sick? So you get all of that on Strangers right here with those drums. That's my like drum production. And then also I think I threw in like on the final chorus just to spice it up. Tambourine. Cheeky tambourine. I threw this on at night so I couldn't like actually play the tambourine, but it's there, it's cheeky, it's just in the background, it feels great. So you get this, oh, I think there's one tom fill. So it just adds to the feel and the groove of the drums. I think groove is really, really important. We want to feel moving. Back to bass. The bass is sidechained to the drums, I believe. Hold on. Boom. Boom. Sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, so the bass just like really fits in that slot right where it's needed. Because the drums have that feel and are like, I want it to be very drum heavy in this track, almost rock, but not the same. And that's where you get these electric guitars that come in too in the chorus. Yeah, so you get that. Just it's so. Hold on. Here, let's layer. Hold on. Watch. Listen. That feel is just like it's just calling out for drums, and the drums really fit that spot. There's also these like fill in parts, in the verses. They just add like an extra because I didn't want it to be like, I swear I picked you up in my car more than you came to my house. Not that that's a prop. Like, I didn't want it to be like really fast. I wanted it to be like, I swear I picked you up in my car more than you came to my house, and then you sit with that lyric for a little bit. You sit with that lyric, you hear these like little cheeky guitars that like just show up and then dip out. And these are just Logic stock plugins. So you have the Never Ender, the Mus guitar. Which sounds cool, and then Hollow Pad. And all of them together just add this nice little like lick in between the verse sentences, and keeps the song moving so you don't get too stagnant behind it. And then I think I recorded this electric guitar on stream, actually. Yeah. Which just sounds really nice. Yeah, it just adds like an extra little bit of element to the in-between sort of fills that Mitch also played in on, which I'll get to in a second. Yeah, so I think it's just like really pretty. Those drums really drive this whole record. And then Mitch played a guitar solo on this song, and I was like, okay, dope. And he's like, well, I played some other stuff if you want it too. And I said, hell yeah, send it all. So I was super excited to get these guitars. So we have this one here after the outro. Which just like is just incredible. I'll keep the acoustic guitars for context. Yeah, just what a great sounding guitar solo. Then okay, so I did some processing on these guitars as well to fill up the space a little bit. They were really dope, like rhythmically wise, but I wanted them to be I wanted them to fit differently. They fit great, but I wanted them to be somewhere else as well. So first off, we have the I'll play the originals. So this is the original lick here and the original lick here. So it sounds like this. This is what it sounds like. So that's what it sounds like first. For this part here, I wanted there to be just a little bit more. So what I did was I just pitched it up 12. Again, processing instruments by pitching them up and down octaves is just a great idea. Which just makes that sound a little bit thicker, and then this is what's added to it. It just makes it sound it has that little bit more to it. Almost like it's a 12 string. And then, so there's this guy here, which I love. I love his feel. I love that, like, just super dope. But I was like, it needs a little bit more. So first thing I did was this guy here with a little Ultra Boy plugin, which doesn't typically go on guitars. But one thing that you should know about music production is that there are rules, but they're mostly like guidelines and recommendations. You don't have to follow them. If you think something sounds good, it's good. Those are the rules of music. So I put a little Ultra Boy plugin on this guitar to add this like weird effect to it, because it's also being pitched up, but it's going through this plugin to like transpose it and drive it a little bit differently than just like a regular pitch up 12. So, oh, and a little bit of tremolo. So you get a bunch more like artifacts in this guitar track. So when layered on top of the original one, it's like some kind of like chorus effect almost. And then on top of that is this guy here, which, what did I do to this one? Did I do anything to this guy? I didn't touch this one at all. I think I just doubled it. What? I thought I did something to that one. Oh, I know what I did. This one goes through the tremolo more like the original track, but I still wanted it. Okay, yeah. There you go. That makes sense. Double it and give it to the next song. Exactly. So it's just adds that tremolo feel a little bit more, a little bit stronger. So you can feel it going back and forth in your ear holes. And then on top of this is these guys here at this section. So it sounds like this entirely. So he knocked that out of the park there. A little bit of processing, no big deal. And then he has this element too. Which just adds like this really dope element to the song. Like it's just like real sick. Yeah, it just adds something to it that just like keeps it moving and keeps it grooving. And then same at the end here, he gives this line, these lines. Which is so dope, and because it's in octaves, it sounds really, really great. So then when it's layered with my electric guitar playing, because I also played electric guitar on this song, it sounds like this. So it just adds like such a dope, incredible element to the final end of the song. And the solo is just sick. Now let's go to vocals. Vocals. Anyone? Anyone for vocals? Again, what you'll see on this track too is that if I unhide a bunch of this stuff, you'll see, first of all, a whole bunch of shootout. Again, that microphone shootout right here. Oh, right here. I did it multiple times to make sure that I got the take, not only got the take that I wanted, but also I picked the mic that I wanted. I ended up going with the NT1A, a classic, but I wanted to make sure that I had the microphone that I wanted. So it's all right here. I did it so many times. It's all right there in the track. And I'll get to acoustic guitar thin in just a second. But again, so it was that microphone shootout of like, well, I want to know which microphone I liked on this song. And then also, I think the second, I have this acoustic guitar right here, which is my parlor guitar. Which I thought might be nice to add like texture to the acoustic guitar. But it just didn't sound right. It didn't sit right. It didn't fit right into the song. So that was just like, that doesn't make sense. Can't do it. So it's muted and hidden away because get out of here. So again, I did microphone shootout for these songs. I did so many takes on a couple of different days. But it ended up being the one that's in the song, which is from the NT1A. And I did a ton of processing on it. I did a ton. Okay? I don't know why I did so much, but I definitely did. Because sometimes in the chorus when I'm like yelling, or not yelling.
I see strangers all the time.
It like hits the plugins more than when I'm just like sing talking.
I swear I picked you up in my car more than you came to my house.
Anyway, so it's going through an Echo and Space Designer. It's going through a chorus pedal. Oh. Thank you for using this plugin. Okay, well, I don't have this plugin anymore. Great. And then a sample delay just to like stereoize it a little bit to make it more girthy. And then another compressor that's hitting it really hard. This is a great LA from Analog Obsession. If you want a great plugin that sounds like the LA2A, but want it for free, get this one. It's really dope. And it's hitting it really hard. You'll see right here.
I swear I picked you up in my car more than you came.
But in the chorus,
I see strangers all the time, and they don't occupy my...
well, I'm getting -3, whatever. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And I don't know why the plugin doesn't work. I'll delete it off my computer right now. That actually kind of upsetting. Anyway, then I did a, EQ, couple of compressors, couple of, de-essers and EQ, anyway, so EQs, limiters, compressor. I did so much on this to get it the way that I sounded.
I see strangers all the time.
It's being driven in certain spots, so it has a little bit of girth to it. Anyway, girthy. And then background vocals. So this is big chorus, background vocal, final chorus time. This one's another like choir, lol. Like, I mean, look at me.
I see strangers all the time, and they don't occupy my mind. I now look at you the same. Have a nice day. I see strangers all the time, and our paths won't intertwine. No more leading me astray. Have a nice day.
It's really thin. I'm shocked how thin it is. But I think it just sounds dope. Same with these pre-vocals. It just fits right into the lead vocals.
I think that you think that I don't think about it. I think that you think that I'm wrong. I bet that you bet that I don't know about him and how.
And it's just like these vocals are just so cool. I really nailed. I think I really like how this turned out right here.
I think that you think that I don't think about it. I bet that you bet that I don't know about him.
It's just like, it's really crunchy, and I think that's the point.
I think that you think that I don't think about it.
There's some like suspensions and some weird chords in there that just like add a nice texture to the harmony that is just invested in there, and then it eventually ends up going here.
I see strangers all the time, and they don't occupy my mind. I now look at you the same. Have a nice day.
Just like, it's just so cool. And it's like very tonic, but it just sounds really, really dope. So that's pretty much everything in Strangers. As for the lyrics, it's very like, it's a little bit airing out dirty laundry, I'd say. From personal experience, Tonic by MD and Trippy the Kid. Plug. For real. It is a little bit like speaking on personal experience. Like, these things did happen, and these were feelings that I did have, and realizations that I like came to during the writing process of and the healing process of the whole situation. And like, I know it's a bit cheesy to be like, I found a paper trail of letters that you wrote me the other day. Strange that that line is like, it sounds a bit cheesy, but that actually happened. I did find a paper trail of letters that I was written. And it to be like strange that the words "you contradict the parting of our ways" like really links back to that, like, like how is that fair, kind of like passive aggressive, angry, but like still that sort of feeling. So it's very This is like the acceptance song, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know who that person is anymore. They are strangers, and I like when I go to work, I'm like, have a nice day. Like, hey, I don't know who you are, but like, I hope you have a good day. And that's kind of how I feel about it now. Like, I don't know who they are. I mean, I hope they have a good day in the same way that I hope a stranger has a good day. And the fact that I don't think about the strangers I see at work is a feeling that I think everyone can relate to on a certain level about like the healing process and stuff. So that's the behind the scenes about that too. Pretty like honest, like pretty literal in that sense. That's what I was saying. Like, I think I Don't Know is my most like poetic, and then this one's my most literal writing, and I think they're both really, really good. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions about any of this? Because I think it's like just like kind of thing. I think there's like a big yeah, I think this is some like really, really strong, solid work that I've done. If you don't know someone, have a nice day. If you know someone, what do you say? If I know someone, I'd probably say like, see you later. Have a good rest of your, like, I don't know. Incredible work, you love it. Thank you, appreciate it. If I know someone, I say like, I'll see you later or whatever. I don't know. It's just instinct. I forget. What the fuck do I say if I know someone? Probably some dumb joke or whatever. Yeah. Peace, dude. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Epic EP. Take it easy, Mr. Rap God MD. Epic EP. Thank you so much, Cryptid. I really, really appreciate it. So, that all being said, this EP is available oh, I'm not saying bye. Okay, well, cool. This EP is available. That's when you say, that's what I'd say to a friend at work. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I would definitely like say something similar. That being said, the CPU is available everywhere that you listen to music. Please enjoy. I really hope you enjoy listening to the EP, and I really hope that, yeah, I really hope you enjoy. Tell your friends. I really appreciate everyone who's been listening and tuning into it. If you want merch that relates to the EP specifically, like if you want a lyric on a t-shirt or like a design, if you have a design idea that you think would be really, really cool, leave it in the Discord. I would love to do like a merch EP specific drop as well. Like we did a merch drop recently for just like merch in general. There is I think I have a merch. I wonder if this link still works. Excuse me. No, okay, don't go to that link. Ignore that link. Ignore that link. Don't go to that link. Go to this link instead. I gotta hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Don't go to that link. Ignore that link. Shh. Ignore that link. Don't go to that link. But I do have, there is schmerch. It's this link right here. If you want merch, there is, yeah, Amy's got it too. It's right there. It's a Fourth Wall website. That's what their brand is called. I don't know. Yeah, so there's some really, really cool stuff there. But if you want something specific, let me know in the Discord so we can like discuss it, and maybe we'll drop like a couple of t-shirts or like a hoodie or like sweatpants or something. I don't know. Let me know if what you're looking for, and we'll figure it out. And yeah, tell your friends about this EP. It's available everywhere. I really, really appreciate everyone who has been streaming it and like, you know, listening to it and sharing it and like adding it to playlists and stuff like that. Like, it's really, really awesome to be able to do this. Like, cause this is what I want to do as a living. I want to make music and then make videos about music and stream about music and stream about other stuff. Like, I don't know, playing Minecraft. Like, I want to do a lot of fun stuff like this, and you being here is a step closer to that as a full thing. So thank you for being here. It's because of you I can do what I like to do, and this is what I like to do. So thank you. Truly, like I say that at the end of every stream, out of habit, but it's true. So thank you for listening to my EP. Please share it around, tell your friends. If you see someone who's about to break up with someone, send them I don't know. Just like New Kiddo said. But yeah, that is that. Follow me on all my socials, join the Discord. They're all linked right there. Buy some merch if you want. I got a Ko-Fi. That'll have some behind the scenes stuff as well. So yeah, all of these things. What else? Yeah. That is everything, I believe. Is there anything else I missed? I don't think there is. Yeah, this EP is available everywhere, so thank you all for listening and tuning in and like being on the ground floor of what I'm doing. Newest video is linked right there. Thank you, Amy, for reminding me. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff out this summer, so like and subscribe. I will be very, very public for a little while longer. So yeah, thank you for being on the ground floor of this little building that I'm making. So whatever that metaphor is, thank you for being in the foundation of the building that I'm constructing. Something like that. Yeah, there's the EP. W building indeed. Thank you all so much for being here. It's truly just incredible. I love the little community that I've built. So yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And stay tuned for more very, very cool stuff coming your way soon. Bye everyone. Bye. Bye everyone. Bye. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Bye. Take it easy. Bye everyone. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye everyone.